Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. We're already a few days into March because I've been so busy with the new Rumble events. The Priestess event has been a really fascinating event showcasing the new event system that Blizzard built for Rumble. But now I'm going to take a look at how did Rumble do financially in February, so last month. And on iOS, Rumble had 9,000 new downloads and 300,000 in revenue, both going down. And on Android, 7,000 new downloads and $200,000 in revenue, both going down as well. These are according to Sensor Tower, so they're not exact figures, but they do show the overall trend. Total 16,000 downloads, 500,000 revenue, and that means that February on mobile was Rumble's worst month ever. Looking at Rumble's new downloads for the past 12 months, according to Sensor Tower, so these are only mobile downloads, we can see that the previous low was in September 2024 when there were big layoffs at the Rumble team. Rumble team was downsized from around 80-ish people to more like 40, 50-ish people. And yeah, now we're even lower than that. Numbers have been trending downwards for some time. Obviously, in December there was the PC client launch, and the PC client data is totally opaque. We don't have PC client download numbers, we don't have PC client revenue numbers, so there is something on top of these numbers from December on, but this is still a pretty bad trend. And looking at revenue per month, February 2025 also was the weakest month that Rumble has ever had. 500,000. The previous weakest one was that September, the layoff month when people were just quitting in droves, 700,000. But it came back up a little bit when people saw that, okay, this was not actually the end of the game. Now, obviously, February is the shortest month of the year. And if you look at the overall market, overall, the strategy game market was a little bit down in February. Also, the month is a little bit shorter, so obviously that also reflects in the numbers a little bit, but not as much as with Rumble's numbers. So you could get into top 30 crossing strategy games in February 2025 on mobile with 4 million in revenue. Sometimes it has required 5 million in revenue to get into top 30. So yeah, a little bit downwards, but yeah, Rumble is something else. So where do we go from here? February, worst month ever for Rumble mobile. There's also, of course, the PC numbers. So overall, it's possible that September last year was worse overall for Rumble than this February was. It's actually quite likely because given how PC-oriented lots of Blizzard audience is and how, for example, Hearthstone used to have a 50-50 split between mobile revenues and PC revenues. So Rumble could easily go into some kind of territory like that, in which case this would only be like the third worst month ever or something. That's still not great. There's the new events that I have also been busy with over the past few days, and they also show a little bit of revenue improvement when you look at the graphs that showcase the position of Rumble in the stores on how popular it was, but very few new players. So even though people have spent a little bit more money now with the new event system in the game, new players have still not flocked into the game despite those. The new events, I could talk a lot about the new event system. I actually like it a lot. I think it's exactly the kind of thing that Rumble needs long term, because now they have the technology in place to use any mission. So they can use campaign missions, they can use all the dungeon bosses, they can even use all the raid bosses very easily to be used in separate event fights. And then they can add all sorts of modifiers to those as well. So they can very easily build all sorts of events and time-limited fights based on all the more than 100 different bosses that are in the game at the moment. So there's going to be so much potential for variation and so many different things that they can do. But that event system, that's what you give to players when they're waiting for the next big thing. Like, okay, you can run a few events and whoopsie, 3 months, 4 months go by and players are like okay with that, as long as you drop something big after that. And then it's like, yay, now we got this new big thing, and then some rejoicement over that, and then back to that usual stuff. And that's where the events will help, because Rumble has definitely had its periods when there's nothing interesting to do. But the events are still just that thing that keeps people around while they are waiting for the next big thing. And that can buy you a month, that can buy you 2 months, that can buy you 3 months. but it won't buy you forever. You still need some big things. There's going to be the Lich King launch coming in March, so coming quite soon. That really needs to be a big thing, and then they would need to have more big things. Does Blizzard have them? We still don't have a roadmap. That's a huge problem. Like, this event system also, if you really think about it, this event system also kind of showcases that maybe Blizzard does still have long-term plans for Rumble. Because why would they build a system with which they can easily build new events unless they will have somebody building those events? So at least there's that. Because the system itself does nothing unless somebody's making those custom modifiers and adding them to missions. But yeah, Rumble didn't do well in February, not at all. Even if you take into account PC, which probably means that February wasn't the worst ever, it's still bad. So what we really need now for the game is first the Lich King launch to go well and give us something interesting. I know there's 3 new maps in the files. What are those 3 new maps going to be used for? That's important. And then, yeah, roadmap. Give us insight into big things coming over a longer period of time, and with the new event system in place, people would wait for those while events keep us occupied. But with nothing to look forward to, events are not that big. They're not the thing that people will look forward to, so yeah, let's see how the Lich King thing goes. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.